several videos, hundreds of them, surfaced of Prajwal having sex with a number of women, by some estimates over 2,000 women, many of whom had met the MP asking him for favors to be done. These acts of absolute depravity have shaken the very conscience of the state of Karnataka. And to add to it, Prajwal Revanna has reportedly fled the country. He is reported to be in Germany. Today, his party, the JDS, left with no choice, suspended him, but not before launching an attack on the Congress party and the Congress government in the state, saying that this entire operation was done by DK Shiv Kumar, and also that the Congress was aware and was in the knowledge of these videos much earlier, but waited for the election to happen before ordering an inquiry. So, the big question on Brass Tacks tonight, should there be zero tolerance for sexual predators in public life?
What is the presumption?
Yes.
He has left the country. Immediately it is known to him. He left the country.
That is not important. What is the position of the NDA? What is the position of the BJP on this issue? That is very much important.
How DK Shivkumar is the background, how he played in this issue.
वहाँ सरकार किसकी? सरकार कांग्रेस पार्टी की। ये एक वीडियो आपके ध्यान में ही होंगे, क्योंकि टाइम पर रिलीज किए गए हैं। और अब तक कार्यवाही कांग्रेस पार्टी ने क्यों नहीं की?
The stand of Bharatiya Janata Party is clear. See, no political party can support in this case. And state government, the present Congress government, has already constituted an SIT.
All right, so let's take you through the timeline of this case. Back in March of 2023, Prajwal Revanna's driver had quit. He allegedly threatens Prajwal with leaking some of these videos. In June of 2023, fearing the leak of these videos, Prajwal goes to court and the court grants him a gag order against a large number of media establishments, saying that they cannot publish these videos online. December of last year, 2023, the former driver files a police complaint. He alleges kidnapping by Prajwal and his mother. In that same month, a BJP leader, Devaraje Gowda, who is a local leader in Hassan, he raises this matter. He accuses Prajwal of sexually exploiting a number of women. In April of this year, Prajwal Revanna's videos go viral. And this was just a day before the elections, remember, just a day before the elections. Karnataka voted in the second phase on the 26th of April. Prajwal Revanna's videos go viral in Hassan district just a day before the polling. On that same day, once this has come to light, the Karnataka State Women's Commission chief requests the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to initiate a probe. On the 26th of April, Prajwal Revanna's constituency Hassan goes to the polls. The very next day, after the polls, on the 27th, the Karnataka government orders the formation of a special investigation team to probe these videos. And on that same day, after the announcement of the SIT, Prajwal Revanna leaves India for a tour of Europe. The day after that, on the 28th, Prajwal Revanna and his father HD Revanna are both booked for sexual harassment based on a complainant's case. On the 30th of April, that's today, JDS decides to suspend Prajwal Revanna. They have welcomed the SIT investigation, but they have also alleged that DK Shiv Kumar was behind this entire operation. But that is a smaller point compared to the larger issue. And the larger issue is, how could an elected member of parliament for the last number of years carry out this kind of sexual depravity, exploiting poor women, many of whom were his constituents who came to him for work to be done, engaged in this kind of depravity with them, shot those videos because he could use that as a threat against these hapless survivors. And then how is this man allowed to continue to be in public office? Today, the JDS has suspended him, but should such people be allowed in public life at all? Should he not be expelled and be made an example of? The NDA, the BJP, of course, is hitting back at the Congress, saying the Congress knew about this much in advance and that they deliberately timed the leak of these videos to around the elections so as to vitiate the atmosphere and so as to make this a political issue. And the target is not just Prajwal Revanna, but the target is the Modi Sarkar, the target is the BJP, and to dampen the BJP and the JDS chances in Karnataka. So, let's examine this. Let me go straight across to Tuin Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP, Aishwarya Mahadev is Congress party spokesperson, Trisha Shetty, activist, and Professor Chandan Gowda is professor with the Institute of Social and Economic Change. Thank you very much. First things first, Tuin Sinha, there is absolutely no words to describe the kind of aberrant behavior we have seen on display by this Honorable Member of Parliament. And after the videos have surfaced, after a case has been lodged, after an SIT has been formed for this Member of Parliament to flee India, and apparently he's in Germany, how can the BJP even condone this? How can the BJP even turn around and say, oh, but what about the Congress government in the state? How did they let him get away? I mean, what are you doing about it? Because he's your ally.
Good evening, Zaka. Good evening, everybody. Absolutely, there are no words to describe the depravity with which Prajwal Revanna has indulged in. Our stand is very clear. Whether it is Sheikh Shahjahan or Prajwal Revanna, we are committed to ensuring exemplary punishment to both of them. Now, as per the knowledge, as per the information which has come out in the last few days, most of these videos actually pertain to the period between 2018 and 19 when they were in alliance with the Congress party, and the Congress party in the state was critically dependent on them. That is when he would unleash this depravity, and the then CM was aware of it. But anyway, that is not the point. The point is, had this be, he had obtained an injunction last June. Ideally, that injunction order should have been challenged, but now I'm told that in Karnataka there are at least 20 politicians who have that similar injunction order, and one is not privy to what is in the video or whatever. But nobody from the central leadership of the BJP was aware of it. The difference over here lies in the way we have responded to the situation. Our commitment is unequivocal. We will get him back and ensure the same punishment if he is guilty. If he is guilty,
you say,
we will ensure
Tuin,
the same punishment.
nobody in your leadership knew about it, Tuin, but there is a gentleman by name G.D. Devaraj Gowda. He's a local BJP leader, apparently has contested local elections in Hassan as well. He's a BJP functionary in that district. He says he had written a letter to your state president, Mr. Vijendra, back in December of 2023, warning him about the predatory nature of Mr. Revanna's behavior. And he says he got no response from the BJP leadership. Are you now still suggesting that the BJP leadership was unaware of what Prajwal Revanna was up to?
No, there is some, there are two versions to it. I think he has also said somewhere that he sent a WhatsApp, which he was not sure whether that WhatsApp was read or not. So one is not sure. I think the state leadership would be in the best position to answer this. But what Honorable Home Minister Hamid Shahji has said is very clear. We are committed to ensuring exemplary punishment to him. And Zaka, I think the difference over here lies in the way the Congress and the BJP respond to the situation. In the case of Sheikh Shahjahan, we have seen at a press conference, at a TV9 conclave, how Kharge ji even condoned it by saying these are small things which keep happening in Bengal. Has any leader from the BJP said that? That is basically the difference. When this thing happened, we were not in alliance with the JDS. And there are, like I said, there are some, I am told 20 politicians in Karnataka who have obtained various injunctions. One is not aware of the details of it. And one does not get into the details of it because one trusts the alliance partner over here.
The attack by the BJP is that the Congress leadership was aware of these CDs and what Mr. Prajwal Revanna was up to. That's what this Mr. Devaraj Gowda has also confirmed, that the Congress leadership was aware. the BJP is making an issue that why have you released this at the time of elections to derive political mileage? So you don't really care about the survivors or the people that Prajwal Revanna exploited. What you are worried about is besmirching the BJP-JDS alliance. That's why you have timed this entire thing to the elections. Please respond.
Zaka, good evening. Tuhin Sinha's despicable display of diversion is nothing more than an absolute condemnation of what acts of depravity have happened from Prajwal Revanna, and I have a few responses here, right? 2018 and 19, Sir Prajwal Revanna was elected. In 2019, the Karnataka Congress government fell later because of the horse trading of the BJP in Karnataka. Secondly, sir, let me give you a timeline of things, right? You talk about how your government has acted. On 6 June 2023, there was a stay. On 8 December 2023, Devraje Gowda, who is not just a BJP leader but a defeated candidate of Holenarsipura from the BJP, who wrote about 2,976 videos and said the BJP stands for better, please do not ally with them. There's a letter to Mr. Amit Shah, there's a letter to Mr. Vijendra. You can try and confuse the people by turning around and saying there was a WhatsApp or no, but Devraje Gowda has gone on every single media channel recently and said he communicated with everybody insofar as in February and March when Amit Shah himself came to Mysore, former MLA Preetam Gowda of Hassan, A.T. Ramswamy of Arkalgud and Devraje Gowda went to Amit Shah and said, please do not give Prajwal Revanna a ticket. Yet, you saw Prajwal Revanna, his father, his uncle, his grandfather with Prime Minister Modi, who opposes Parivarvad so vociferously, right? And now this accusation of the Congress leaders knowing, which is pathetic, and the clarification has come out. Devraje Gowda under pressure today saying, oh no, Congress leaders knew it. The driver, mind you, whose wife was beaten up by Bhavani Revanna, Prajwal's mother, to the extent that she suffered a miscarriage. The driver has come out and said, the only person I approached after I was beaten up and this happened to my wife, the only person I approached was Devraje Gowda and nobody else. The fact of the matter remains that this act was well within the knowledge of the BJP for months, even when the alliance was being speculated.
No, but Aishwarya, you also need to answer the question that if there are 20 plus politicians, and we've seen infamous episodes, once again, from the Jarkiholi episode to others, if politicians get stays on the publication of such CDs, such nefarious activity, then surely the government is aware of what is going on. What did the government do is the question that's being asked.
Zaka, so the nature of all these stays, and let me give you a fact and a clarification on that. More than 90% of all the stays that have been taken, there are 3 or 4 from the JDS, there are 5 from the Congress, which we are also looking into, but close to 27 of them all come from the BJP. And Mr. Prajwal Revanna, much like his colleagues, Mr. Pratap Simha and Tejasvi Surya, has taken a stay as soon as he realized that defamatory matters may come out. But this is the very critical question. Are you allowed to cover or use the guise of a stay to cover up acts of sexual brutality and violence against women? From the reports that we're hearing, there are women being brutalized. There are women being videotaped against their consent. And I come from a taluk called KR Nagar that is right next to Holenarsipura. And the number of families and women even in my taluk today who are scared and afraid and who have been basically brutalized by this man is rising as we get to know more. It is more than shameful. There is absolutely no excuse for it.
So,
we have acted. We haven't failed to register an FIR. We have acted. We will ensure he basically bring him to justice.
What is absolutely despicable, Trisha, is this man is a public representative. Many of these victims had come to him seeking some kind of work to be done by the Member of Parliament. He has taken advantage of that situation, not only indulged in this kind of depraved behavior with them, then shot that, oftentimes himself or with the help of aides, as some kind of insurance against these victims going public. Please explain to our viewers, what are the charges that can be brought against this man? Because it's absolutely sinister to even wrap your head around what he was doing with these women.
Firstly, thank you so much for centering this conversation around the victims. Because unfortunately, what we have seen as of now is political mudslining to the point where we've forgotten to center the complete abominable atrocities that these alleged victims have been subject to. Few questions come to mind, right? Even though the crimes that Prajwal has been accused of credibly has come to light, how was he allowed to leave the country? Under what jurisdiction was he allowed to leave the country? That is something we must question. How did he get away with abusing so many women so frequently and with such ad hoc impunity for so long? We must also keep into account who this individual is. Not only is he an MLA, he belongs to political royalty. He's the grandson of the former Prime Minister. His uncle is a chief minister. So you're talking about an individual with access to obscene political patronage, power, who is abusing whom? The survivors, the victims on the other end are people who are way less powerful than him. Party workers, domestic workers, people who need protection and security, the vulnerable class of society are being abused by someone who has access to such kind of obscene access to power and privilege. We must also take into consideration, I'm really heartened with what BJP spokesperson is saying, that there shall be no consideration, no light-handed treatment given to this accused. I also wish he would condemn the statements put out by Mr. Kumaraswamy, who said this is a conspiracy to spoil his family name. It is disheartening when you hear the former chief minister, instead of condemning his family relative unequivocally, right, instead saying this is a conspiracy to spoil the family name. Who has spoiled the family name? Said individual has spoiled the family name. It is also extremely disheartening to hear JDS come out with a statement that says this has caused considerable damage to the party's dignity and leadership. Who has caused that the videos have caused considerable damage? Have the videos caused considerable damage, or a party member who has gotten away with sexually exploiting, abusing the most vulnerable party members of your own party? Who is causing the damage? We must again ask, how are the videos circulated for so long? The details of this story are sickening to know that the videos were circulated in bus stations. Are we even forgetting that this country is a country that runs on, the dignity of and protection of women? And instead, we see political mudsliding. So I really wish, thank you. I say we should center this conversation around the victims.
I do want to ask Professor Gowda, one of the critical questions that Trisha is asking and everybody is asking is, how was this man allowed to leave the country? On the 26th, which is the day that Hassan voted, just a day or so prior to that, these videos are doing the rounds. The very next day after the voting, an SIT is formed and an FIR is lodged. And on the night between 27th and 28th, he leaves Bangalore. How was he allowed to leave?
Zaka, I don't know the legal technicalities, but he ought not to have been allowed to leave. But he's not the first to be allowed to leave under these kinds of circumstances, where he is wanted by law and they managed to leave the country anyway. He's just the latest among a series of such people, and we can do a check about who was allowed to leave under whose government, etc. But the fact remains that the legal system that is supposed to regulate movements of people is selective in how it goes about it. So this is unfortunate.
No, but ultimately, if an FIR has been lodged, and these are not light crimes, these are heinous crimes. The charges in the initial FIR are against rape, 376, right? And if this is known, and on that night, this gentleman leaves from that very same jurisdiction, surely then either the system is callous, or it seems to have a different set of rules for people like Prajwal Revanna, or, as some people are alleging, there was some kind of underhand deal.
It seems that way. I mean, immigration formalities are handled by the Minister of External Affairs, and the local movement, by car, leaving the district, reaching the airport, etc., the state government is in control of it. So I think there is complicity at multiple levels, Zaka. Frankly, I must confess, I don't know the legal technicalities to apportion, fix the blame precisely on one authority and nobody else.
And what do you make of what H.D. Kumaraswamy is saying? On the first day when it came out, he was like, law should take its course, and, neither me nor my father have been associated with this kind of behavior. We're condemning it. And then slowly and surely to today, when he's saying, oh, this is a conspiracy, D.K. Shiv Kumar is responsible for it, the Congress knew about it, they timed it for electoral gains and so on. Clearly, he's singing a different tune from day 1 to day 3 now.
Zaka, I don't see why we should just, I'm not trying to defend anybody, but he's been fairly categorical they've expelled Prajwal Revanna, right? And they're clearly saying the SIT should take its course, etc.
No, they've not expelled him. They have suspended him. They have suspended him, saying that till the SIT comes to a conclusion, he will remain suspended. They've not expelled him from the party.
Okay, so yeah, I think it's, everyone is allowed investigation, and let's see, you have to keep it open until SIT proves it conclusively. Although we can see the videos and feel like he's surely participating in it, I would just, withhold judgment until it's conclusively proved. I mean, this is, the basic thing you would extend to all accused, right? You're innocent until proven guilty.
Okay.
Anyway, Zaka, but HDK statements, I think he's, it's not just him. Even a whole range of people are saying different things at different days. It's an evolving situation. But I don't see his latest statement being more credible than the previous statement. They all have to be considered together.
Okay. Aishwarya Mahadev, it comes down to this critical question of, what was the Congress government doing? If you knew this from June 2023 when the court ordered the stay, then surely it was public knowledge. And the most important question, after the FIR was filed, how was he allowed to leave the country through an airport in your state where you have jurisdiction, the police is under you? How did you let him get away? Now God even knows if he's going to come back and face the law.
Zaka, offer me the privilege of factually making a few clarifications on this. One, in 6 June when the stay was taken, there was no material placed except that there is an apprehension of defamatory material being published in media. For example, there was no evidence provided of what the material was when the stay was offered. And I mean, if I am wrong on this, then I hope Trisha, who's also a very active lawyer, can clarify on this, when the stay happened, right? Because even when Tejasvi, Surya, Pratap Simha have taken stays, nobody knows the content of what it is. A lot of other BJP MLAs, when they've taken stays, they've been little bit of things put out in the media, then the stay has been taken. This was first before that. Second thing, I'm going to give you a timeline. On 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, when all of this broke, from what we know, there was literally no complaint. There was no FIR. We were hearing a lot of things. Devraje Gowda had not spoken. On 26th, and you can quote me on this and fact check me on this. On 26th morning, he went alone to vote. He went back to Bangalore and his flight was on 27th morning at 2:10 a.m. So the minute after he's voted, and mind you, his own uncle, his mother's brother has passed away in Hole Narsipura. He has not gone for that. He has fled from Hole Narsipura, gone to Bangalore and taken the flight at 2:10 on 27th morning. The SIT, at which point the SIT was formed on the 27th based on the letter on the late evening of the 25th from the Women's Commission. And by that time, and there are two things here. The Women's Commission had issued a notice to the SP there, and on the 27th, when finally the SIT was formed, and then we realized that he had fled the country, there is also more investigation happening on the SP who was issued notice to keep a lookout on the whereabouts of the people who were accused. The FIR was registered late on 28th. That is the timeline. We believe the Congress government here has taken all action that is needed. SP has been given notice. There is higher.
One second. Aishwarya, you've just given out the timeline. If on the 25th this came to the attention of the State Women's Commission and the State Women's Commission alerted the concerned district authorities, why did you wait between the 25th and eventually the 27th or 28th for the FIR to be filed? And by which time the said gentleman has left the country. So it just leads you to believe that somebody in the district had sort of sounded him out.
You know, Zaka, if you go to Hassan, you understand precisely what the situation is there with the Deve Gowda family, and which is why the SP who was issued notice about keeping a lookout, there's also in the SIT, that angle is also going to be probed if there was any laxity or any sort of lax in the duty that they were supposed to undertake.
That's an utter shame. That's an absolute shame. But anyway, that is a minor matter. My larger question is to Sinha. A, will you distance yourself from the JDS? The JDS had 3 candidates. One of those 3 was Mr. Prajwal Revanna. The other 2 were one his uncle and 2 the brother-in-law of Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy. 3 candidates. One of them is Mr. Revanna, and these atrocious activities have come out against him.
No, so Zaka, let me tell you that it was the BJP which had advised them to immediately take action against Revanna, after which he was suspended from the party. But from what the Congress spokesperson is saying over here, it seems that the Karnataka state government is absolutely helpless. It seems that Hassan is another country. That's what she's seeming to indicate, that they have very little control over what happens in Hassan. But the fact is, Zaka, our action speaks louder than Congress's vacuous words.
Have
A
you
similar
broken your
pervert in
alliance?
Sandesh Khali had been unleashing, please
Have
don't
you
interfere,
broken your alliance?
have that basic courtesy. A similar pervert in Sandesh Khali had been unleashing this kind of behavior for many years, and Mamata Banerjee had been protecting him. What did we do? Not only have we got him arrested, we have ensured that the entire case is under CBI and he meets punishment.
No, so
And this is what we will
Tuhin, can
ensure
you make
that
the
this
same
man is
assurance?
guilty.
Can you make the
If
same
he is
assurance
guilty-
in the case of
if he
Prajwal
is guilty,
Revanna
this is
that he will
exactly
be
what we
brought
will
back
ensure.
to the country, face the law, and arrested if need be? He will be meted the same fate
No,
as
Zaka,
Shah
the
Jahan Sheikh. Can
point
you make
is-
that assurance on the
point
show?
is- Zaka, the point is, if he could time his escape so well, with the coming out of certain videos, it only shows that he has friends in the state
Who's in
government
charge
who
of the
probably alerted
airports?
him, who
Okay.
probably, passed on information to him. And yes, I'm giving you the assurance that, that was the starting statement of mine on the show, that if he's guilty, he will be given exemplary punishment. Because
Okay.
as a public representative, what he has done is far more condemnable, it is far more unpardonable.
Okay, we've just got. All right. Trisha, I'll give you the final word. I have to get concluding remarks from both Trisha as well as from Chandan Gowda. So, both father and son, that is Mr. H.D. Revanna and Prajwal Revanna, have been booked under 354A, 354D, 509 and 506. What is the maximum punishment we're looking at in these cases? And two, again, I come back to this fundamental question. What if he doesn't come back to the country and face the law?
The punishment of rape, especially for aggravated sexual assault from people of position of power and authority, is very simple. He can be subject to a minimum of 10 years for this. A few statements are really perturbing. To hear the professor here say that we should not exercise judgment on a man accused of such heinous crimes and who enjoys such powerful political patronage is extremely disturbing, especially when Mr. Kumaraswamy has very generously put forward his judgment when it comes to this issue. It's extremely disturbing also, with all due respect to the Congress representative, when you go and ask people to vote for you, law and order, jurisdiction of power, of protection of women, their security comes under your portfolio, right? So we must take into account and take ownership to say that we will account for the safety and security of every woman within our jurisdiction who's been subject to such heinous crimes. Coming back to BJP, time and again we are reminded of how powerful this government is. Time and again we are reminded of how powerful your leadership is. You're telling me you cannot ensure that this accused gets is forced to come back to the country? Is this how you expose your own weakness? That such a powerful government of the world's largest democracy cannot ensure that you make sure an accused who is charge sheeted in a crime is forced to come back to the country, extradited from Germany and forced to come back here. Y'all are all culpable. Y'all are all responsible in failing the women who have been subject to the worst crime here. If
All right.
only y'all would stop your political mudslinging and center the survivors here. Make sure they're protected. Make sure they're compensated.
To Professor Gowda. The cynical view is I don't think he's going to come back to the country. All right, we've lost Professor Chandan Gowda. But I'll wrap up by saying this. This is a cynical view, and blame me, if I've seen so many other cases of a similar nature going down the drain, as it were, the legal drain hole. I don't think Prajwal Revanna is going to come back to this country until he gets some kind of relief from the courts. Two, I don't see, any kind of political ramifications. I certainly don't see the BJP, suspending or snapping its ties with the JDS until at least the election results come out, and thereafter, depending on the results and of course the blowback from this entire incident, depending on that, they might take a call on the alliance. And like I said, the most cynical view, of course, is that this is not going to have an impact on the remaining 14 seats in Karnataka, because anyway, the seats that the JDS has some kind of influence in has already voted. So for the rest of the state, that the remaining half of the state that's voting in the third phase on the 7th, this may not even be such an issue. That's the cynical view. I hope that the people of Karnataka, the people of India, are able to prove all of us wrong. All right, I want to go across because the issue of women's safety should be a non-partisan one. It should be whether the accused is from BJP or Congress or JDS or TMC. The law must act definitively, the law must act speedily, and the law must act in a deterrent fashion. The accusation is that when it comes to crimes against women that are carried out in opposition states, there seems to be a different pace and rigor to how the legal process acts. And when it happens in BJP-ruled states or politicians who are either from the BJP or alliance partners of the BJP, there seems to be a different speed and rigor to it. To try and answer that question, I'm now joined by Ms. Rekha Sharma. She's the chairperson of the National Commission for Women. First things first, ma'am, this entirely shocking case that's come to light involving a member of parliament, no less, accused of not just sexually harassing hundreds of women. In fact, it runs over 2,000 is what we are told, allegedly. There are also videos, many of which the member of parliament himself made as some kind of an insurance against these women, harassing all of these innocent survivors. What is the National Commission of Women doing about it? What action are you taking in this regard?
We have taken suo motu and written to the DGP to send us the report within 3 days, because they have already created a SIT, and I think they are taking some action, but still now he has run away from the country and they have not done anything. So that's why we have written them to send the reply within 3 days.
Meanwhile, the Congress, the other opposition parties of the India Alliance, they are alleging that when it comes to crimes against women in opposition ruled states like Bengal, for example, Sandesh Khali, for example, you are very quick to act. When it comes to either BJP members or those who are allied with the BJP, in this case the JDS, the NCW and other institutions are very slow to act. How do you respond to that?
They actually don't know the facts. The State Commission had taken cognizance earlier, whereas where we act, there the State Commission doesn't take action. And if they are talking about Sandesh Khali, for example, so there the State Commission did nothing, and that's why I had to run from here, from Delhi. Okay. But in this case, State Commission had already taken cognizance, and on their complaint only the police had created an SIT. Police also took action in other states, like in West Bengal. Police did nothing in Sandesh Khali, and that's why my action was, and it was not that quick, which they are saying. I went after few days to Sandesh Khali when nothing was happening. In this case, I'm happy that Sandesh, in this case, the State Commission had taken action, and they are already on their toes.
But ma'am, the main accused, Prajwal Revanna, is reportedly away in Germany. They are saying that he was deliberately taken away to Germany right a day after the elections got over. And the fact that these CDs, these pen drives have been doing the rounds for at least the last 6 months, had this not ever been brought to your attention, either at the National Commission for Women or at the State Commission for Women, that it took a good 6 months plus, and the day after the polls, after this said gentleman fled the country, for the FIR to be registered and for the State Commission to take cognizance?
See, at that time the complaint was in the court, I think, and he had requested the court not to take action or to and state the court gave the direction on that. And what they are saying that NCW is delayed, I don't think we have delayed this case. If he has run away, then it is because of the state police has did nothing about it. The state did nothing. He hasn't run from Delhi. He has run from Karnataka itself. Why they didn't did not catch him at that point when he was running? Why they didn't hold him at the airport? So it was, I think now the question is in their court, why they did not take any kind of action when he was running.
So finally, ma'am, what happens now? He's reportedly away somewhere in Europe. What if he refuses to come back to India and face the law? How does the Indian criminal justice system hold him to account? After all, we've seen a number of fugitives in the last 10 years, Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, etc., none of whom have come back to face the law for the crimes that they are alleged of doing.
See, then I think after a few days, I am waiting for the reply from DG. I will be writing to Home Minister also. The Indian government has to intervene if he doesn't come, because there is a long way how we can get him back, and then the Home Ministry has to intervene, and we will be writing to Home Ministry.
All right, Rekha Sharma, Chairperson of the National Commission for Women, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see if your efforts bear any fruit, whether or not this man is brought back to the country and made to face the law. All right, that's a wrap here from me, Zaka Jacob, and the rest of the Brass Tacks team. Thank you for tuning in to Brass Tacks that you were watching live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. From me, Zaka Jacob, and the rest of the Brass Tacks team, we'll catch you again tomorrow night, same time. Good night.
Squad. The names of that squad have been revealed. Now Rohit Sharma will be the captain of the T20 squad. Also, what we are learning is that Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav, Pant, Samson are also part of the squad. Hardik Pandya will be the vice captain. Jadeja, Patel, Yadav, Chahal, Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj also part of the T20 squad. Remember, the World Cup will kick off from the 1st of June to the 29th of June in the United States as well as the West Indies. And Rohit Sharma, hitman Rohit Sharma, will be leading the boys in blue in the T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma will be the captain. Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav and Pant are also part of the squad. Samson, Pandya, Dubey, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will also be part of the squad as Chahal, remember, makes a comeback to the T20 squad. The T20 World Cup will kick off on the 1st of June. It will continue till the 29th of June in the United States and the West Indies. That is the piece of breaking news that's coming in. I'm joined by my colleague Shivani Gupta on the broadcast. So Shivani, decode the squad for us. What names pop out for you?
Well, obviously, Rohit Sharma had been confirmed as the captain leading to the T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies, and there wasn't much speculation about that. There's been a lot of chatter around Hardik Pandya, so he continues as the deputy or the vice captain. So Rohit and Hardik Pandya are there. Interestingly, in the reserves is the name of Shubman Gill, Rinku Singh, Khalil Ahmed and Avesh Khan. Now you can expect some of the others, but Shubman Gill as a reserve and not a member of the 15-member squad will of course raise some eyebrows. Tomorrow the chief selectors and the captain are going to hold a press conference. They're going to give us their reasoning, but this is on speculated lines. You've got the likes of Virat Kohli, Sky, Rishabh Pant of course making an entry back into the
In a battle of alliances, will personal equations spoil chances? Join me, Smita Prakash, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage. Unrivaled political punditry and the sharpest election analysis. Elections is equal to CNN News 18.
The names of that squad have been revealed. Now Rohit Sharma will be the captain of the T20 squad. Also, what we are learning is that Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav, Pant, Samson are also part of the squad. Hardik Pandya will be the vice captain. Jadeja, Patel, Yadav, Chahal, Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj also part of the T20 squad. Remember, the World Cup will kick off from the 1st of June to the 29th of June in the United States as well as the West Indies. And Rohit Sharma, hitman Rohit Sharma, will be leading the boys in blue in the T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma will be the captain. Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav and Pant are also part of the squad. Samson, Pandya, Dubey, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will also be part of the squad as Chahal, remember, makes a comeback to the T20 squad. The T20 World Cup will kick off on the 1st of June. It will continue till the 29th of June in the United States and the West Indies. That is the piece of breaking news that's coming in. I'm joined by my colleague Shivani Gupta on the broadcast. So Shivani, decode the squad for us. What names pop out for you?
Well, obviously, Rohit Sharma had been confirmed as the captain leading to the T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies, and there wasn't much speculation about that. There's been a lot of chatter around Hardik Pandya, so he continues as the deputy or the vice captain. So Rohit and Hardik Pandya are there. Interestingly, in the reserves is the name of Shubman Gill, Rinku Singh, Khalil Ahmed and Avesh Khan. Now,
an unprecedented and historic election.
A vote that decides Bharat's quest for greatness.
A mandate that paves the way for 1 billion aspirations.
A verdict the world is watching closely.
A battle for a rising Bharat's glorious future.
Battle for Bharat. Elections equals CNN News 18.
कब से हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं? The names of that squad have been revealed now. Rohit Sharma will be the captain of the T20 squad. Also, what we are learning is that Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav, Pant, Samson are also part of the squad. Hardik Pandya will be the vice captain. Jadeja, Patel, Yadav, Chahal, Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj also part of the T20 squad. Remember, the World Cup will kick off from the 1st of June to the 29th of June in the United States as well as the West Indies. And Rohit Sharma, hitman Rohit Sharma, will be leading the boys in blue in the T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma will be the captain. Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav and Pant are also part of the squad. Samson, Pandya, Dubey, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will also be part of the squad as Chahal, remember, makes a comeback to the T20 squad. The T20 World Cup will kick off on the 1st of June. It will continue till the 29th of June in the United States and the West Indies. That is the piece of breaking news that's coming in. I'm joined by my colleague Shivani Gupta on the broadcast. So Shivani, decode the squad for us. What names pop out for you?
well, obviously, Rohit Sharma had been confirmed as the captain leading to the T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies, and there wasn't much speculation about that. There's been a lot of chatter around Hardik Pandya, so he continues as the deputy or the vice captain. So Rohit and Hardik Pandya are there. Interestingly, in the reserves is the name of Shubman Gill, Rinku Singh, Khalil Ahmed and Avesh Khan. Now you can expect some of the others, but Shubman Gill as a reserve and not a member of the 15-member squad will of course raise some eyebrows. Tomorrow the chief selectors and the captain are going to hold a press conference. They're going to give us their reasoning, but this is on speculated lines. You've got the likes of Virat Kohli, Sky, Rishabh Pant of course making an entry back into the...
Can the India bloc halt the Modi juggernaut? Join me, Nistula Hebbar, for the most dynamic and distinct coverage, unrivaled political punditry, and the sharpest election analysis. Elections equals CNN News 18.
Presented by... The names of that squad have been revealed now. Rohit Sharma will be the captain of the T20 squad. Also, what we are learning is that Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav, Pant, Samson are also part of the squad. Hardik Pandya will be the vice captain. Jadeja, Patel, Yadav, Chahal, Singh, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj also part of the T20 squad. Remember, the World Cup will kick off from the 1st of June to the 29th of June in the United States as well as the West Indies. And Rohit Sharma, hitman Rohit Sharma, will be leading the boys in blue in the T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma will be the captain. Jaiswal, Kohli, Yadav and Pant are also part of the squad. Samson, Pandya, Dubey, Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will also be part of the squad as Chahal, remember, makes a comeback to the T20 squad. The T20 World Cup will kick off on the 1st of June. It will continue till the 29th of June in the United States and the West Indies. That is the piece of breaking news that's coming in. I'm joined by my colleague Shivani Gupta on the broadcast. So Shivani, decode the squad for us. What names pop out for you?
Well, obviously, Rohit Sharma had been confirmed as the captain leading to the T20 World Cup in USA and West Indies, and there wasn't much speculation about that. There's been a lot of chatter around Hardik Pandya, so he continues as the deputy or the vice captain. So Rohit and Hardik Pandya are there. Interestingly, in the reserves is the name of Shubman Gill, Rinku Singh, Khalil Ahmed and Avesh Khan. Now you can expect some of the others, but Shubman Gill as a reserve and not a member of the 15-member squad will of course raise some eyebrows. Tomorrow the chief selectors and the captain are going to hold a press conference. They're going to give us their reasoning, but this is on speculated lines. You've got the likes of Virat Kohli, Sky, Rishabh Pant of course making an entry back into the national team. Along with him is Sanju Samson, who's done extremely well. And in many ways, for fans of Sanju Samson or fans of Indian cricket, this is a moment that a lot of people had been talking about, waiting for, because Sanju Samson is one of those cricketers, and especially the wicket-keeping batsman who's had a history of not really been able to get as...
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. India is in the middle of its biggest ever election, and guess what is trending on social media here? AstraZeneca, Covishield. Not because another wave of the Wuhan virus is upon us, but because the makers of this vaccine have told a court in London that it may cause blood clots in rare cases. This has triggered debate, fear-mongering and accusations in India. If you've taken Covishield, should you be worried? We'll answer this question and more tonight. Meanwhile, New Delhi has hit out at a Western media report on the plot to kill Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. What were Palestinian rival groups doing in China? Beijing has released a statement. Why did China target ships from the Philippines? Why one roti costs 25 rupees in Pakistan even though inflation has been falling? Is there a foreign hand in the protests in American universities? Who is Prajwal Revanna, the Indian Member of Parliament whose sex tapes have sparked outrage? Why has Uganda turned away from its old lenders to get a loan from Saudi Arabia? How has Samsung recorded more than 900% in profits this year? And can you self-engineer your genes to live longer? A new study says it's possible. We'll tell you about it. The headlines first. A sword-wielding man goes on a stabbing spree in East London. A 14-year-old boy dies in the attack. Police officers are among the injured. London police arrest the 36-year-old man and rule out terrorism. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has condemned the stabbings. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his troops will enter Rafah with or without a truce. The warning comes as Hamas says they are ready to respond to the Gaza truce offer. The latest proposal calls for a 40-day ceasefire in Gaza. Egypt, Qatar and the US are mediating the truce talks. European Union launches a probe against Facebook and Instagram, expresses concerns that Meta is failing to counter disinformation ahead of EU elections in June. Leaders are especially worried about Russian attempts to manipulate public opinion. Hong Kong's big push to become a cryptocurrency hub. It starts trading of Asia's first spot Bitcoin and Ether exchange traded funds. This follows the launch of similar products in the US. Hong Kong aims to take on Washington in the race to dominate the crypto market. And Rishabh Pant named in India's squad for the T20 World Cup in June. This will mark Pant's return to international cricket after his car